Hi, we chose to do the American Eagle campaign with Sydney Sweeney, and I'm Grace.
I'm Jane.
I'm Bridget.
I'm Jake.
Thanks.
The campaign motive. The motivation for the launch of the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle campaign was a combination of business, marketing, and communication objectives. American Eagle needed to increase sales and regain relevance in a very competitive industry. Ever since the 2010s, the brand had been losing cultural relevance, and they needed to regain mainstream attention with a bold strategy. The campaign targeted Gen Z by leveraging nostalgia and influencer culture. The brand aligned itself with Sydney Sweeney, who's popular with younger audiences. The use of Y2K inspired fashion targets both Gen Z's love for nostalgia as well as older people who lived during the time and dress in that style. American Eagle does this in a new and refreshing way that appeals to both groups. The campaign was designed to generate discussion and online attention. Even if it's through controversy, it still gets people to talk about American Eagle. By creating an authentic ad that fits into Sydney Sweeney's identity, audience were more engaged and felt a personal tie to Sydney Sweeney in the ad. In the day and age where consumers are exposed to thousands of ads almost every minute of their lives, the controversial approach helped make the ad stand out by taking advantage of people's tendency to argue on the internet as a result of online discussion. American Eagle names spiked in mentions, authenticity, nostalgia, and calculated controversy sparked engagement and sales. Mostly importantly, positioning the brand back in cultural relevance.
The slippery slope behind Sydney Sweeney's Has Great Jeans ad was both tainting the images of Sweeney herself and American Eagle, specifically in the areas of over-sexualizing and promoting eugenics. In the ad, Sydney Sweeney says, genes are passed down from parents to offsprings, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue. Given the title of this ad, it's very easy to put together what they are promoting behind the message of her having great genes. And it shows that it's promoting eugenics. The play on words raises eyes, as this is what the white supremacy would say has great genes. In the generation we are in, it's extremely looked down upon and has led viewers to see American Eagle as wanting to promote their product and who shouldn't. Another issue that raises concerns was the ad being sexualized. As this is not uncommon in ads, American Eagle claims that they align with body positivity and inclusivity, previously showing through the large diversity they have throughout their ads in different races and body types. Sydney Sweeney being chosen for American Eagle's Has Great Jeans ads puts down the community they have built up for inclusivity, which also caused large backlash. Being sexualized and promoting eugenics caused mass confusion as American Eagle has brand alignments of body positivity and inclusivity. This ad was damaging to their reputation as it did not align with what they had previously promoted, which overall taints trust between the customers, and the brand has provided an ad that is not authentic to what they had previously tried promoting, which was clothing for everyone and for no one to feel excluded. Choosing the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress, promoting her great jeans, gave viewers a bad impression of the brand. However, there were some large things that did work behind this ad. They grew mass media attention that gave short-term boosts in their KPIs. They had over 50 million impressions across all media platforms, and with that they had a growth of 200% from sales from just their website alone, and that it led to 30% higher sales, and then also 40% higher sales in just jeans. With the numbers, it clearly shows the controversial ad gave a lot of better KPIs, which can be better short-term, but long-term it damaged their brand reputation.
So for this campaign, American Eagle really leaned into bold, attention-grabbing advertising to create an immediate impact. They partnered with Sydney Sweeney, who already has a strong following and cultural relevance, especially with Gen Z audiences. The main feature of this campaign was the tagline, great jeans, which is a play on words. It connects the product jeans with the idea of genetics, which makes it a little controversial, but definitely memorable. So that ambiguity actually makes people stop and think about it. They place these ads in highly visible areas like Times Square, which is known for its massive brand exposure, and social media like TikTok and Instagram. On those platforms, the content is meant to be easily shared by users, so overall, the advertising strategy wasn't just about showing off the jeans, it was about creating something bold enough to spark conversation and go beyond traditional norms. Okay, next please. After the campaign launched, earned media became just as important, if not more important, than original ads, because the message was a little unclear and potentially controversial. people on social media started debating what great genes actually meant. The conversation spread quickly, and major news outlets like NPR picked it up, discussing both the marketing and the criticism. This kind of coverage is valuable because it reaches audiences outside of the brand's direct advertising channels. Like, public figures started adding to the conversation, including Donald Trump, which kept the campaign in the public eye way longer. At that point, the brand wasn't fully controlling the narrative anymore, rather the public was shaping it. So in the end, paid advertising created the initial spark, but the earned media, through the social media, the news coverage, and the public commentary, really amplified the campaign. It increased visibility a lot, even though it brought criticism, which is kind of the trade-off with a more provocative marketing strategy.
So finally, we want to talk about what advice we would give marketers of these brands based off of the lessons that we've learned from the public reactions. So the first piece of advice is to balance attention with the brand's identity. For future campaigns, American Eagle should make sure that the attention aligns with their long-term brand goals, including inclusivity and authenticity. Next, I would suggest the brand should conduct pre-testing like A/B testing or focus groups to prepare for how different audiences will react to the campaign. The backlash American Eagle faced was slightly predictable given people's sensitivities around what was portrayed in the ad. Next, I would strongly recommend that the campaigns should reflect a wider range of diversity in body types and people's identities. People want to imagine themselves in the product, and by only showing one type of body can exclude those who want to feel represented. To avoid criticism, brands should be prepared with a clear response strategy before the ad is launched, especially with campaigns that can be seen as controversial. Lastly, I would advise companies to be intentional with the message, since controversy can lead to increased visibility.